Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's video is something super special. Is that mine?
That is yours.
I need a moment. I'm revealing and showing you the car that got away. My childhood dream car that I tried to buy for my first car that didn't end up happening. And I want to give you all the context in the story, but when I was 17 years old, I wasn't that far off, a couple months maybe, from turning 18. I had just finished watching a Fast and Furious film, and I really wanted a Japanese sports car, something cool, something turbo, something unique. And I walked straight across the road from the cinemas, and there was an import dealership there. In Australia, we've had import cars from Japan for a very long time, but I went across the road and I looked at all the Skylines, Supras, RX-7s and everything there, and there was one car that stood out to me. And I went home and I was so excited, and it was $18,000 at the time, which was a lot of money. You know, I'm in my 30s now, so, you know, I think you can understand that back then that was a lot more money than it is today. I went home, I told my parents, and I was like, I'm gonna get a loan from the banks. I'm turning 18 soon. I know they'll let me borrow the money. I'm gonna borrow 18 grand, we're gonna buy this car. And I was so excited about it. My dad was like, dude, this sounds awesome. Let's go check it out. So I go with dad, we go look at the car, and he loved it. He thought it was cool. He was definitely a little concerned because obviously twin turbo. He was worried about my safety and the car going too fast and it being a, you know, fairly large engine and stuff that made a decent amount of power. And to be honest, like, he wanted me to have it. But he then sat me down and explained to me that going into debt was not a good idea. Taking money from the bank wasn't gonna end up, you know, being fun, and it's not wise. And he strongly advised that I'd start saving up for the car and purchase something like that outright and let this car go and buy another one, right? A lesson I was not ready to learn at that time. I let go of that car and I let it go. Shortly after, the prices of those cars actually skyrocketed a lot. As I'm sure you guys know, the Japanese used car market is insane. It's starting to level out, it seems, right now. We'll see what happens at the market, but I thought I would never be able to purchase this car ever again. They are definitely in the 70 to 100 grand, maybe even plus range, especially this particular model. So when the right opportunity came for me to purchase this car for an insanely low amount of money, I thought it wasn't true, I thought it wasn't real, but I jumped at it. And I am currently in Okinawa. Yeah, it seems like all the crazy cars that we buy on this channel are here. And we're about to show you guys this new car. Now, another part of this is I'm hoping that I can get my dad on a plane, that he can sit in the passenger seat of this car just because it has such a special place. But after he convinced me not to purchase the car, and, you know, the car went up in value and stuff, I always remembered that moment because this was a car that I never even bought, like never even got into after that because of how much money they were. And there were NA variants that were cheaper and stuff like that, but it just never really happened. And I went down an entirely different avenue of platform, you know, focused heavily on Nissans. And it feels right now. It feels right to be getting this car at this age, at this time, at this price. And how this all came about, it's 100% me. It's 100% what this channel's about. You can hear the gun range in the background. The guys on the bases are practicing today on the shooting range. But I'm sure you already know, my dad's not doing so great health-wise, but I really hope that we can get him on a plane and he can sit in my passenger seat and kind of just experience what could have been if I had the money saved up to purchase that car back then, because it was definitely a father-son moment and a lesson that I learned, and I always think back about that whenever I think about going to the banks, which hasn't been for a long time, I'm proud to say. Anyways, that aside, I want to show you guys this new car. There's a crazy story behind it. It is, I still can't believe this happened, but I'm gonna walk up this hill. Some of you might remember this place because this is where the Cresta was. And I had no idea at that time that this was gonna happen, but we're here hanging out with Sappy. He's got a whole bunch of cars here, Altezas, Verosas, a bike. Love the Yoshi pipe on that thing. Dude, look at this Chaser, another Alteza. Sappy's Verosas in there. Hey Johnson, how you doing? Nice shirt.
Hi Sammy.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey Sappy, I think it's time we open this garage door. Yeah. There's a nice A70 Supra here. Sappy's S15, which actually has a cool story too, because this is getting turned into a comp car, and the left-hand side strut tower has come out of the abandoned S15. So a piece of the abandoned S15 is gonna live on in this, because look at this. That's gone. We gotta open this garage. Hang on a sec. Before I show you this car, you guys already know the backstory. Do me a favor. help us out. The YouTube algorithm needs to know that you love this content. Smash that like button, write us a comment, let me know what you think. Put your guesses down there now and see what it is and then edit it later. And subscribe. Let's get that golden plaque.
I guess I knocked on the garage, right, PG?
There's no freaking way, bro. Is that mine?
That is yours.
Is that actually mine? I need a moment. I needed a moment. So I saw this car when I came here to pick up the Cresta. And at this point, this was a customer's car. It wasn't mine. I had no intentions of purchasing this. I didn't even really bat an eyelid at it. And I was just like, man, this is a nice Supra. It has a full Velside aero kit on it. It's a late model one. It's a Chuki one. It's got VVTi 2J. It's got the Get Drag. It's everything except it has a single turbo. Look at this thing. It's got a HKS GT Pro single turbo kit on here. The car that I was looking at in Australia with my dad was a white twin turbo late model one. So pretty much the same thing, just obviously factory twins. Had the same wing on it, everything. Now, the reason why I'm getting so emotional is like I said, it's good memories with my dad. So I guess this car purchase means a lot more to me than I initially thought. And my main goal is to try and have this thing in tip-top condition so I can somehow see if my dad can make the trip out here to sit in the passenger seat for it. And we can kind of relive some and recreate some memories before things happen. But that aside, let's talk about the car, let's talk about the history of it, how we got it, and how, I guess, what the plans are. Right now it's obviously in Okinawa. You can see it's in pieces. There's broken hoses and stuff like that here. It's gonna need some work, right? There's no way I would have been able to afford one of these cars if there wasn't a story like this behind it. But long story short, the engine might be hurt. We're not 100% sure. We need to look into it, but from what we've been told is there's low compression on certain cylinders, but it should still run. There's other issues with lines and things like that all around the car that need to be addressed. There's a ton of things, you can see the wiring harness isn't even fed through the firewall yet, but there's a lot of work that this thing needs, but the chassis is good. There's pretty much no rust, right, Sappy?
Yeah, no rust.
Which is crazy rare for a car from Okinawa. This car came from mainland initially. And I guess I'll take the camera and I'll show you guys more about this. Dude, so good. There's so much good stuff on here. Look at this huge Grady intercooler, oil cooler over there, and the bumpers and the hoods and stuff, everyth's with the car.
Everything's inside, it's full carbon hood.
Dang. Dude, I'm so excited. Man, what even is this? It's a GT Pro. I don't even know what this is. Usually I expect to see like a big TO4Z on this or something. I'm learning, guys. It's internally actuated? What? Okay. And these are the old water lines that go to it that have broken off or something. So there's a bunch of interesting things on this car. Full Velside kit. Advan GTs. 295s on the rear? Wait. What?
295 Baleno 08 RS.
What? Okay, we're gonna put some Yokohamas on these to match the wheels. Dude, so excited. A good way to look at if a car's ran recently is like look at the rotors. You can see they're not too bad, but definitely needs to be broken in a bit. Dude, I could. So hard not to get emotional. The cockpit is incredible. I can't tell you how upset I was when, oh, what is this Momo wheel? Dude, this is incredible. Look how clean this is. The defies. Dude, the interior is immaculate. Can't wait to show my dad. Even the roof, man. I did not know I was gonna get this emotional getting into this. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Dude, I never even looked at this thing.
I know.
The moment you called me and told me the owner was interested in selling, so, cause the engine, dude, it's only done 144,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
So Sappy called me one night and was like, yo, the owner's interested in selling that Supra I had in my garage.
Yeah.
The motor's hurt, it needs a rebuild. And he was like, owner's looking for this much kind of thing. And we went backwards and forwards a bit, and I'll make another video about how much we've paid for this because it's absolutely insane. But this video is just about showing you guys this thing and trying to get this thing running. So, dude, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know your attachment to the car either. So
dude,
it's like,
I mean, like, I didn't even know I was this emotional about it. Like, I was like, yeah, done deal, easy, that's a no-brainer. But the moment I saw it, this is why, like, last night I felt like something crazy. Like, it felt, I don't know how to even talk right now.
I was gonna mention that you've been here for like almost 10 hours or 12 hours.
Because I flew in late last night.
You've seen the car and you've just kind of been holding out looking at it, and I was kind of curious why.
Because I just didn't know how I was gonna feel.
To see, like I said, I didn't know the emotional connection that you had to it either, so it's super cool to see like you have a genuine reaction to the car, and I'm really glad that I didn't force it upon you last night.
Yeah, he was like, bro, let me show it to you, let me show you to it.
Way more in-depth way of doing it, so.
You know what I just realized? When I was a young boy, my father took me to the dealership to see a Supra. It's literally, we can twist that, you know what I mean. Anyways, dude, I'm so excited. Team Supra gang. Oh, we got a lot of work to get this thing running because it needs to be on a boat this week.
This week.
This week. Dude, it's so nice. You know, little surface rust on the bolts here, but that's easy. Replace some bolts. I'm not sure how I feel about the Veilside kit, but it does look nice. This is wild, this vented fender. The headlights are in really good shape too. It needs a new clear coat, but they're really good. They're not cracked. I know that's a Supra thing. Guys, tell me in the comment section if you're a Supra person, what is everything I need to look out for this? What are things I need to check? I don't know. I bought this pretty much sight unseen. Taking a quick break from the Supra to tell you guys about today's video sponsor, which is GamerSupps. They've been a long-time partner, and this Supra wouldn't be possible without their support. So we're doing something special for you guys. We're giving away free GamerSupps. You get a free sample pack with all of these satchels in it. Go to the link down in my description and use coupon code in checkout for free GamerSupps. Literally, it's free. What more do you want? Free energy. GamerSupps is super easy to use. All you have to do is add it to your shaker bottle, and depending on how much flavor and how much energy you want, depends on how many spoons that you add. But if you're a real hardcore person like my friend Johnson right here, he just takes it by the spoon straight into the mouth. Oh yeah, look at that, perfect. You good? So make sure you guys click on the link down in the description and get your free samples, literally free GamerSupps. And then if you want to get anything else on GamerSupps website, use coupon code SAMMIT and check out for 10% off store-wide. Thank you GamerSupps for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the Supra. Dude. This wing. Oh, I'm so excited. It even has the right tails that I love. What's under the car? This is where I'm scared. Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. Thank God for the exhaust covers. I'm gonna take those off and clean them the moment this thing gets back. Dude, the body looks amazing under here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna freaking wax cavity protect this thing like crazy. I'm gonna take the bumper support out. I'm gonna clean that up and make sure this thing has got all the rust prevention on it. Dude, and I can't believe it comes with Advan GTs. It's so perfect.
It's almost as if it was meant for you.
How this deal came up, for real. For real. All right, we've got a lot of work. We got to figure out what we're going to tackle, but we want to hear this thing crank today. I want to be able to have this thing running so that when we get it back to the shop, we can compression test and diagnose and see what's actually broken. Is it just a head issue? Is it a head gasket issue? Is it bad piston rings? You know, I've got a ton of spares for a 3-liter VVTi 2J sitting in my shop. I have full pistons, conrods, rings, crank even, so we can rebuild this very easily. You've already seen we rebuilt that Chaser 1J in one day. We've built a 3.4 liter for my comp car on the channel. I'm not a stranger to the JZ platform anymore, but I'm definitely a stranger to the Supra platform. Out there is, I guess, Granddad, and then this is the younger variant. It's cool. Dude, I'm so hyped. Dude, Sappy was all like chirpy and stuff, and then when we opened the door and I got emotional and then things changed. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing running. We've already been working on getting the harness in. Jacob was inside while I fed it through. We're getting that all plugged in. It has a HKS VCon Pro, I think, or FCon Pro, sorry. FCon Pro, this thing. And it's like a whole piggyback harness. So as you can see, Japanese wiring specialty. We'll be putting a link in this for sure, but we obviously want to get this thing running. I've already been plugging in a bunch of stuff on the harness and figuring stuff out. We need to go to the home center and get some hoses for things like power steering, low pressure, and these water lines up here for the heater hoses. We need to get the heat shield back on this, but also put the lines on. I think what we're gonna do just to get this thing running is not run water to the turbo, we'll just run oil. We're not gonna be beating on this thing, just needs to be lubricated. And there's some weird nipples that are kind of corroded on here. They were not AN fittings. So we'll just get some caps, some rubber caps to cap off the water ports here and down on the block for the turbo, and we'll just run oil to it and we should be good. Put the heat shield on, we'll be fine there. Tidy up a few other things with the harness and plug things in. And I think we're good to crank this thing. Do you reckon it'll start? Like, how bad was the engine? Was it okay?
It was smoky.
It was just really smoky. Okay, I wonder if it's, imagine if it's just a blown turbo or something crazy like that. Anyways, let's hope this thing runs and then we can get this thing transported this week and have it in my shop by the end of the week. Fingers crossed. I just noticed this turbo kit is super interesting. It bolts onto the stock manifold, kind of extends it up to the flange for this. It looks like a T3 flange. Very interesting. And I was looking at the Garrett plate on here because a lot of the HKS turbos use a Garrett core. It has GT30-37 on here with a 56 trim. This is going to be a crazy responsive turbo for this car. Very cool. These older kits were really like just straight bolt-ons. It's still crazy to me that this is internally gated, but I think this was like the low mid-range kind of kit that they sold, and then the other kit came with the manifold and the whole gate and everything, but this was a straight bolt-on solution to make it a single. It's very cool, and all the piping and stuff that comes with it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this turbo kit on here. A part of me wants to put twins on this, so we'll see. I'm sure you guys know me. I have crazy plans for this, and now that I can weld and fabricate, I'm very excited to get my hands into this. Definitely a lot of stuff I want to clean up, but just looking over the engine bay, you can really see that like this was definitely a mainland car that came to Okinawa, and this thing, once we give it a good wash and a good scrub with some Meguiar's, is going to come up really, really good, especially where all we're seeing is just like surface rust from bolts, heads and stuff, you know, like non-stainless hardware, like this stuff, all OEM stuff that can be replaced. Super good. So we'll go through and clean everything up, and this thing's gonna look $1 million. Like you can even see, like trying to look under the cowlings and stuff, there's no rust or anything. And like even looking in here, there's no surface rust. I just don't see any crazy rust anywhere on the car. Like the body looks immaculate. Immaculate. It's pretty safe to say that if you're buying a Japanese car, that it definitely needs some wiring love. Now, I am by no means fixing this. I am just reconnecting some wires that had to be cut because no plugs or connectors were put in. So when these guys went and removed the harness the first time around, they had to cut a couple wires just to get the harness out. So I'm reconnecting them with some butt connectors right now. We're obviously gonna redo this entire harness. so I'm not too worried about it. And there's a lot of old Japanese tech in this car that definitely needs a revisit. That's for sure. Like this piggyback system, look at all this stuff here. And then there's another, like the F-Con sits under the carpet here. It's just, there's so much going on, so many butt connectors, and wires going to places that I have no idea where they're meant to be. But we're just kind of piecing it back together like a big jigsaw puzzle. Kind of enjoy this, to be honest. It's kind of fun. This also reminds me though of Daiki's Yakisoba car. Another quick progress update. I just pulled all the plugs, gave them a quick clean with some parts cleaner. Gonna put the coil packs in, and then we need to do fluids, and we should be able to start this. We got the battery in there, everything's wired up. That's it. Coils. Oh, we need to go to the home center and get some hoses to connect this all back up and some hose clamps. That's it. So we need to go do that, and then we should be able to start this thing. Or try to start this thing. I hope it runs. Oh, we got to connect the fuel line up, right?
Fuel line.
Yeah, and then we're good. So the pressure side of the fuel line, we'll hook that up too. Otherwise though, I think we're all back together now, which is epic. Oh, we need trans fluid. Cannot forget that. And I'm gonna enjoy some American pizza. What is this, Pizza Hut?
No, Hunt's Brothers, dude. It's better than Pizza Hut.
Hunt's Brothers. And this came off base?
Off base.
So weird how like there's American companies on base. You can't get this kind of pizza in Japan at all, period. This is awesome. Well, you can on base, also, which is technically America away.
Be careful because that pepperoni just disintegrated my lip.
Like as in it's hot?
Oh my gosh, ridiculous. 120 on the gauge in the car.
All right. I'm so excited to hear this thing run. I cannot wait. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, which means one thing. Black Friday sales. And usually we do 20% off store-wide, but you've probably noticed we're not at the HQ. We are at the Tomei headquarters in their warehouse. You can see all their parts behind us, and recently we started listing all of their parts on our website, SAMMIT.net, which means for this Black Friday, 20% off not only our merchandise, but all Tomei parts shipped to your door worldwide from Japan. If you want head gaskets for your SR, JZ, RB, they're on the shelf, ready to go. You want cams for your 4G63, your Evo, whatever other car that you've got, they've got it on the shelf. Head studs, you've got titanium exhaust kits for every model that they make them for, all available on the shelf, ready to be shipped to your door. Go to SAMMIT.net and place your order, 20% off, store-wide, doesn't matter what it is, it's 20% off. Don't sleep. All right, we got fluids going into this thing. I got the accessory belt on. First time ever working with one of these dampener things. I didn't even know that was a thing on these, but now I know. So that's on there. I'm gonna put the intake piping back on. Actually, I'll leave it off if we get it to crank first off in case we need parts cleaner. I'll zip tie this out of the way. I need to zip tie power steering hose out of the way, but I think we're good. Oh, and fluid in the transmission. We cannot forget that. We actually need to do that.
There you go. That's proof that the trans has oil in it. I definitely don't want to forget that. It's a Get-Trag trans. Those things are worth money. You can see the mat there with all the oil that poured out of it once it was full. I'm actually surprised. I thought those trans would take a lot more oil than they did. Grab my hat because that fell off there. But we're good. Water's going in. Engine oil's in. I think we're ready to turn this thing over. I'm excited. I mean, obviously we know something's wrong. The whole reason why this car became available. So when you got it, the initial customer who owned the car was like, hey, help me fix it. Before you can even fix it, the owner contacts you and says, oh, I sold the car, the new owner will contact you. And you were like, wait, what? Before you could even work on it.
And we didn't hear from the new owner for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then the new owner comes around and then they started to diagnose the issues and stuff and then found out it was going to cost a bunch of money to fix it. And he was like, I'm just going to cut my losses. And then that's where I came in. So
he's gonna make this a drag car. He has a drag car in America.
Does he? So, that's kind of cool.
That was his original goal, but I guess he
to be fair,
for the 2J life.
Oh, the 2J life. Oh, I'm excited.
How much they've gone up, you know, and
it does, yeah. Still though, I'm excited. This thing's gonna be awesome, and we'll put some new technology on this. Put a Garrett on it, and I think it'll be mint. I think we'll take the jack stands out and we'll lower this thing down. I'm sure it's gonna have some kind of little leak or something, but that's okay. We can work on this more once we get it to my shop. The main goal is to make sure this thing runs of some degree and we can kind of figure out what's up. Oh, before we do anything, we need to bleed the clutch before we crank it.
We were about to lower it too.
Wait, hang on. Do we bleed the? Yeah, we'll bleed the clutch. We'll be right back.
A few moments later.
We spent probably about 45 minutes trying to bleed the clutch. We cannot get it. It's like airlocked really bad. So we'll just figure that out once it gets back to my shop, and we'll use a power bleeder that I have there. I've had this issue happen before. It's just frustrating to deal with. In the meantime though, the car's all got fluids. Hopefully it'll crank. Do you want to do the honors, Sappy? You want to turn the key?
I think you should do the honors.
I kind of, okay, all right, you hold the camera then. Are we in neutral? Yeah, we're in neutral. We've got power. I don't know if we have enough power. We definitely have enough power. What is that? That's weird. We need a jump pack. She's dead. All right, looks like it was just loose terminals. What is that rattle sound? But this just starts way too easy. What is that rattle?
Turbo. Dude, why is it running so smooth?
The clutch fan's hitting on something, that's all it is. Alright, we tightened the clutch fan, let's see if it, hang on. Yeah, alright, go. Alright. Yeah, it went away. The noise went away. So cool! Oh, I'm so excited. If only we could bleed the clutch. Alright, we're gonna take it outside just so we can take a thumbnail. But I'm way too excited. It runs, we can put the hood on it, the bumper on it, and we can ship it back to Center HQ, and we can dive straight into it and diagnose what's up. Oh man. I'm so happy. Listen to that turbo. It doesn't sound like it's low on compression. It really doesn't. I'm curious. It'll be interesting to see when we're able to diagnose it, what's really wrong with it, so keep an eye on it. We seem to have got some pretty decent luck with a lot of these project cars that we bought from Okinawa where, you know, it turns out we get them running and there wasn't anywhere near anything wrong with them like we thought. But for the most part, got my childhood dream car. We're gonna fix this thing up. It's not much that it really needs. And yeah, I'm beyond stoked. You know what I've always wanted to say? Yo, Sappy, is that